How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Foggins, Media Corner, back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time it's going to be on the 2024 adventure comedy film, and that is Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. This film serves as a spin-off film to the SpongeBob film series, and this film is directed by Liza Johnson. And the plot of this movie is that when Bikini Bottom is suddenly scooped from out of the ocean, we see Sandy Cheeks and SpongeBob their journey to Sandy's hometown of Texas, where they meet her family, and they must work together to try and save Bikini Bottom from the hands of an evil CEO who's played by Wanda Sykes. So that's pretty much the story of Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. Now, when it comes to the three main SpongeBob movies, the first movie, which came out in 2004, was just recently turned 20 years old. I really love that movie. It's a really fun and entertaining animated movie that's based off one of the most popular cartoons that's been shown on Nickelodeon, and which for that show, it's one of my favorites from Nickelodeon. And I would even say for that movie as well, it's by far my favorite Nickelodeon movie I've ever seen. The second movie, which is of course Sponge Out of Water, I did think was a pretty solid sequel, although I wouldn't say it is as better than the first movie, but I still had a fun time with that sequel. And the third movie, which is of course Sponge on the Run, I would say it's my least favorite when it comes to the main three SpongeBob films, but I still think it's an enjoyable sequel, although again, as I said, it's not my favorite when it comes to the main three SpongeBob films. And when I heard there was going to be a spin-off SpongeBob movie, I was actually really looking forward to this one, since as I mentioned before, I'm a massive fan of SpongeBob SquarePants, because as I said, it's one of my favorite shows on Nickelodeon. And I did check out this movie on Netflix, which was the 2nd of August this year, and after seeing this movie here, unfortunately, I was utterly disappointed with this movie here, because I wasn't really a fan of this one, unfortunately. The storytelling here for this film just felt really dried out, because it tends to have some like rehashed stuff from like other films and all that, which to that just lack the creativity here, where it does tend to have some like elements to Sponge Out of Water and Finding Nemo, because in this film we see that Bikini Bottom is being scooped out of the ocean from these human beings, and they're trying to make them into toys, in which for that, as I was watching the film, just felt really uninteresting for me, because I didn't find myself really invested with the whole storytelling in for this film. And it also has some like rehashed stuff from other SpongeBob films, from some of the stuff that goes on in the movie, which I was like, yeah, I've already seen this before in the past from the previous movies that we've already had before already. And it also kind of lacks some of the stuff as well here for the character Sandy Cheeks, like her backstory and her family, which for that was very disappointing. And when it comes to the gags in the film, they just felt really dried out. Like, I barely even laughed when I was watching the film, because I just felt like I was dried up inside, like a dried up version of SpongeBob as I was watching the movie. And when it comes to the animation here for this movie, in which it is pretty different from the previous movies, because, you know, the first movie, the original film, was 2D animated. The second movie had a mixture of 2D and 3D animation. And the third movie was 3D CGI animated. But as for this film, when it comes to the character models and designs and the colors, it wasn't too bad, I would say, for the animation that the film went for here, even though it just felt really downgrading when it comes to its visuals, because the visuals here in this film just felt really bad when it tries to combine the live action and 3D CGI together, and for that it really took me off guard, and I was just like, yeah, that is really bad. But when it comes to the voice work in the film here, like of course the original actors who we all know from the show, they still are once again so authentic and still really good here for voicing these characters that we all know from the show. And this film has some recognizable voice actors here and there in this film, like you've got Craig Robinson and Johnny Knoxville in the film, and I thought for the most part they are pretty fun for voicing the new characters that we do see in the movie. And as for Wanda Sykes, who she plays the villain in this movie, this live action villain here, her acting's fine, but her character, she's so dumb in the movie here. And when it comes to some of the characters in the film here that we do follow, they just barely do much in the film here, which made them so insufferable and yet poorly handled here, especially for Sandy Cheeks, since she is the star of the film here, because, you know, it's about her trying to save Bikini Bottom using her skills, but the film just completely lacked all that from what the film tried to explore here, which for that was very disappointing here. So overall, in the end, guys, Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie, was utterly disappointing here. And I would say it's definitely not one of the best animated films I've seen for this year here. But if you're a fan of like the TV show SpongeBob SquarePants, or you're a fan of like the previous movies, I just honestly don't even know like how to recommend this film here, because in all honesty, I don't even recommend this film in the slightest here. So that's pretty much all to say about this movie here. I'm gonna give Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie, 2 out of 5. as I said, this movie was utterly disappointing for me here, since again I'm a big fan of SpongeBob SquarePants here, and in all honesty, I would just rather stick with the previous three films here, and just skip this one entirely here. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching for my AK After I Saw review on Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. And let me know what you think of this movie if you have seen this already, or if you just recently checked this out. Did you either enjoy this one, or did you just downright hate this one here? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Foggins Media Corner signing off.